everyone out there in the land of YouTube. This is Annette Dion. I am the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Hope you're all doing pretty well out there. It is Monday, December 20th, 2021. I'm still in a time warp. It feels like the day just started and now it's over, and it's kind of late. It's almost 9 o'clock Eastern time. Happy almost winter solstice. Tomorrow is the winter solstice, and the moon is going to be going into Leo. Should be a fiery day. The moon was in Cancer all day today, and part of tomorrow too. So the winter solstice, it's the shortest day of the year, and then from that point forward, the light increases very slowly. So get out your, holly and ivy and your wassail and your, your figgy pudding. And a few years ago, I was living in a colonial house, and I had a colonial Christmas party. Some of you that are watching this, maybe you were there. And it was the most fun I ever had. This house was built in 1720. And I made all colonial foods. It was quite a hoot. Anyway, if you look up a wassail recipe and you put the warm winter spices in with the oranges and the, cloves and the oranges and all that, it's really good stuff. Wine or cider. I'm using a different deck today just because I just felt like changing it up, and I can't even tell you which deck this is because I don't have the box anymore. I'll have to find out. Gosh, how will I know? So many tarot decks. Let's see what's going on. Mr. 45, Mr. Trump. He's at it again. He's suing. He's filing a lawsuit against Letitia James. Why does that make me laugh? I don't know. It just makes me laugh. It's not going to work anymore. I mean, it's worked his entire life, but it's not going to work anymore. So there's that. More people are being called in by the January 6th committee. This is a slam dunk in terms of, are they guilty of criminal activity? Absolutely. They're all guilty. I did have some questions. I left them in the other room, so I'm just going to wing it. Somebody suggested that I turn my phone, which I've thought about, but then you get to see, the clutter. And it's not that bad, but I don't want you to see it. I've got a crystal ball, with some fake flowers. I've got a Buddha head. I've got some selenite. This is a highly charged area. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So someday, next time, maybe I'll turn the camera. I'm going to take a look at whether 45 is going to be indicted. Okay, is he going to be indicted? For the January 6th situation. I'm getting a yes. Mr. 45 will be indicted to go in front of the January 6th commission. I don't know if you call it indicted. I'm probably using the wrong word. He'll be called in. All right, so the other question is, will he go? Will he go? Will he show up? Well, he's not planning to at the current time. He will be called in by the January 6th commission. Oh, the pendulum's kind of going at, okay, no at first, and then yes. It's a double answer. By the way, thank you all of you who watch Church of Spirituality, and if you are turned off by the word church, just call it something else and check it out. We're doing 3 services over the weekend, so I'm really excited about that. And the message is about peace, and we can all use a little of that, can't we? I'm going to go through a little bit of a list of different people that are in trouble. So let's start with Mark Meadows. We already got the Trump will be called in, but will he, initially he won't, he'll say no, but then he'll have to say yes. I think the same is true for Mark Meadows. So we're going to look at Jim Jordan. The sun is illuminating all... Oh, I like these cards. They show up really well. This is about Jim Jordan. I'm just going to go down a little bit of a list. Yes, the sun is illuminating the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles comes up often about the all the evidence. Yes, Jim Jordan, there's tons and tons of evidence. The Six of Wands, they're hauling him in with the story of what happened. I mean, he has the story of what happened. They're hauling him in. All right. Kevin McCarthy. What's going to happen with Kevin McCarthy? Now, he hasn't been called in by the committee. But let's see what's going to happen with Kevin McCarthy. Well, this is saying that there's going to be some others that are called in before him. I think that that is true. This is interesting. So I see Kevin McCarthy pointing the finger and throwing people under the bus. And here's who I see him thrown under the bus. Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka. Now, I don't really know how that would really unfold, but I'm feeling like Kevin McCarthy is going to point his finger at the Trump children. I could see him doing that. I could see him going, well, I know you are, but what am I? Like, kind of like that. But what about them? No fearsies. Mark Meadows. Let's see what we get on Mark Meadows. I'm just going to randomly pull names. Mark Meadows. How can that be? I just pulled exactly the same 3 cards. Well, I'm seeing, well, not exactly, but mostly. I'm seeing that with Mark Meadows, why are they pointing to the Trump kids? That's really weird. I didn't expect to see that. McCarthy, is he going to point his finger at the Trump kids? This is really weird. I didn't expect this. Meadows, he's going to point his finger at the Trump children. Is it because I'm using different cards? That's just really an unexpected thing. But I see McCarthy and Meadows for some reason going, but they did it! Must be the winter solstice energy. It's just weird. By the way, you like my cards? Santa is one from one of my people that got a reading. And other nice Christmas cards. I had too big of a blank space up there. Okay. Who else do we want to ask about? Just real quick. Scott Perry. Am I getting the name right? Anyway, he's the one that put Jeffrey Clark in his position of the standing Attorney General. Remember that at the end of Trump's whole illegitimate reign? When he was firing all these people and replacing them with his buddies at the end. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't go, oh my God, I'm so glad we got through that last year. I mean, we're still getting through it, but it was so scary when the White House was completely just in shambles, just completely disrupted. Well, it's disrupted the whole time, but you know what I mean. Between November and January 6th. All right, so Scott Perry, who appointed Jeffrey Clark. And Jeffrey Clark he's pleaded the 5th, and he pleaded that he was sick. And Jeffrey Clark is going to probably... Man, I could spend a whole hour on this topic of January 6th, the commission. Probably, is Jeffrey Clark going to finally speak up? I think he's going to have to. I feel like Scott Perry, I think I have the name right. He's Pennsylvania. He's in trouble. He's going to show up with the goods. I do like these cards. Here's Liz Cheney. I feel like this is Adam Kinzinger. I feel like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger are really on it with Scott Perry. Well, they're Republicans. That makes sense. That actually makes sense. They're going to see to it Because you know what? Liz Cheney, for as much as we don't agree, most of us here don't agree with her policies, what she's backed, including Trump. She backed Trump too. You know, but actually Adam and Liz are the only ones that are acting like stand-up Republicans because they're standing up against the lies. So I feel like they're going to get Perry in. Let's do one more. There's too many to go over all of them, but let's do one more. Matt Gaetz. What the heck? Oh, do you know what? A while ago, I just flashed on it. Because I just saw in an article on the CNN website, I saw that Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz and, well, those two are in trouble. There's evidence. They're looking for the telecommunications information. They're asking I guess the phone companies for the records. It was Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan and somebody else. Anyway, let's go with those two. What's going to happen with those two? But anyway, a while back, I remember when Matt Gaetz was first outed for his sex trafficking debacles. The man should rot in jail, but I digress. I got a really strong hit that Jim Jordan was in on it too. Remember Matt Gaetz' friend who's in trouble, who was part of the sex trafficking? I forget his name. There's too many news stories. You know, the ones that were never like, that is still ongoing and we never kind of got to the end of the story. You know, there's so many. It's just so hard to keep track of. So Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz. I'm asking about the telecommunications information. What's going to transpire there? Because the January 6th Commission has requested all the telecommunications records. And they're going to get what they're asking for. The January 6th Commission is, the emperor's, you know, that seems like Benny Thompson. The Six of Pentacles. Okay, so Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan, they're going to have to fess up to the things that are just evidence that they can't deny because it's right in front of everybody's eyes, even though that's a thing to deny it nowadays. So Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan they've decided, well, I'll cop to this, but that's all I'm going to cop to. So that's where they're at. And the Knight of Swords, January 6th Commission has got the goods on Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz. I'll think of who the third one was. I'll let you know who that was. And you know, people, I know it's Christmas week, but they're still working hard. I actually see people working over Christmas. I actually see people, you know, doing shifts, but going through all the papers, and they're not going to stop. Christmas is not going to be like a holiday for some of the people that are helping with the January 6th Commission. I think I just mean like staffers and that kind of thing. Okay, so I want to look one more time at 45. Oh, yeah. I got the death card. Something just told me to look again at 45, and I got the death card. I don't think that means actual death. I think it means his dog and pony show has ended. 45's. The dog and pony show has ended. The smoke and mirror show has ended. The you don't see what's right in front of your eyes is, I mean, that jig is up. So, yeah, there's too much evidence, and I have the judgment card too on 45. I just wanted a little more information about that. Yeah, there's too much judgment against him. I have the death card. This is the end of him. This is the end of his reign. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that because out of wishful thinking. This is an offering being made. Who's making the offering? Okay, I feel like Trump's lawyers are making an offering like, come on, come on, don't do that, let us get away with it. And that's about the statute of limitations is what the guys are saying. That means they're gonna try to, you know, like that's his MO. He just tries to run out the clock. So that's what the lawyers are gonna try to do 45's lawyers are going to try to do with this January 6th commission thing. Can you believe he's trying to, like, file a lawsuit against Letitia James for, they're claiming that the only reason Letitia James is going after Trump, they're claiming, is for political reasons. No, because you cheated on your taxes. And Americans aren't allowed to do that because it's under penalty of the law. If you ever listen to Randy Rainbow, he does this sedition. Pretty funny. You should check that out on YouTube. It's very funny. We have to laugh. It's too serious. It gets too serious and we just have to laugh. Did you guys bake your cookies? I found a really good recipe for really easy thumbprint cookies. You just put your little thumbprint in them and you can make a whole bunch of them all at once and give them to all your friends. If you have a lot of friends, it's going to take a long time. I don't have too many. Nobody's seeing each other nowadays because of COVID. So let's go there next. The Omicron. It's interesting to me that even though we have vaccines and everything, that it seems like the panic level has gone through the roof on the Omicron, even more than when COVID first hit. I don't know, is it me? It just seems like that. It seems like everyone's really panicked about this one. And myself and other psychics I notice have said Omicron is, we feel like Omicron is not the worst variant. It's so puzzling. I know they're saying it's really highly transmissible. Anyway, I think my point is that nobody really knows. So, because the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like every time I turn on the news, I get a different story about Omicron. So let's ask a question about that. Is this going to be the most deadly variant? Is Omicron going to be the most deadly variant? It's not going to be the most deadly variant. Let's ask the pendulum this. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. And I'm not giving you medical advice. I just want to see which variant is stronger. Was the Delta variant stronger than the Omicron? Yes, and it's moving slowly, so it's kind of like, now it's really going. The Delta was more dangerous. I don't know in what way, but that's just what my pendulum is saying. I'm just gauging the level of danger based on my psychic impressions. I'm trying to stay out of trouble here. Be safe. Do things safely. So I'm gonna just look at, I couldn't help thinking today that when this first started, the guides told me that there'd be 1 million people dead before we really got a handle on it. And then that hasn't left my mind. And I mean, that was last year around April. That's what the guides told me. 1 million Americans dead before we kind of got a hold of it. So today I saw the numbers are past 800,000. At the time, I could not believe it. Sometimes I argue with the guides, like, no way, get out. Can't, you know what I mean? The truth. I couldn't handle the truth. It's tough. It's really tough. By the way, don't forget about the people in Kentucky. I did put the link right under Church of Spirituality. You don't even have to watch the Church of Spirituality to donate. Just click on underneath the description and it's right there. The Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund. It's a little distressing to me that it was such a devastating situation and I've barely seen any news about it the past several days. So that's really bad. So please give. Omicron. Okay. Can't even imagine losing everything. If you think about that, if you just reflect on that, you'll just be like, I got to give money to that organization. So anyway, Omicron. Okay, so the Temperance card. Yeah, it's kind of makes sense because I'm feeling like you know, we'll navigate through this one. It's kind of like navigating through murky water, this Omicron thing. Navigating through, getting through, being careful. Please, please, if you're having a family gathering, be safe. If you're not vaccinated, wear your N95 mask. Well, if you're not vaccinated, don't go hang around with people indoors. That's kind of like, that goes without saying, right? The Three of Cups is like, we're going to get a handle on this as a world. We're going to get a handle on this Omicron variant. We will. The Page of Wands, and it's just like kind of slow and steady wins a race kind of thing. We will get through it. It's teaching us resilience, and it's teaching us patience, and it's also teaching us a very important thing, which I call counting your blessings, and you know, if you're doing well in the midst of this long pandemic, counting your blessings and also reaching out and helping one another. That's what it's teaching us, and to slow the heck down. Because we most certainly did. I'm going to have a sip of my tea because I made it and now it's getting cold. I love honey. My nickname used to be like Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. I just love honey. Honey, honey, honey. Native honey. Really good for your immune system, by the way. All right. What else? I want to see how Liz Cheney is doing. She's working hard. She's working really hard. The guides just told me there's going to be breaking news tonight. Feels like it's about the commission. I see a lineup of people. The January 6th commission is hauling in, and also people are starting to get jail sentences. Somebody else just got, you know, the people that beat up the police officers, they're getting sentences, which is really, it's just important. Okay, it's just important. Liz Cheney, how's Liz Cheney doing? Well, Liz Cheney is really being very, very careful. I have the Fool card. To not let things slip out, that it's not time to let them slip out yet. And that just brings to mind Merrick Garland. Because I get that sense about Merrick Garland too. Because I've been tuning into Merrick Garland. And he's playing his cards, so to speak, really, really cleverly. And I'm getting that something's going to come out sideways. So I don't know really what that means. But I see Liz Cheney making sure that nothing's left out in terms of evidence, and reading all the laws and the articles and the, you know, the amendments. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. That's where Liz Cheney is right now, because they don't want to make any mistakes. And I have a sense that they don't want to make any mistakes, and they're really checking, because they're moving so fast. They're plowing through this information. They're plowing through this evidence. And they want to also make sure that since it's moving so quickly, that they don't miss anything, which would throw things out. And I don't think that they will miss anything. The Eight of Pentacles is working really hard. I said the other day that this is Liz Cheney's dharma. This is her life path. This is a path her soul chose. You know, all the people that are involved here, this is a soul path. Even the bad guys. Oh, they're going to start naming names, and, I mean, they've already named names, so they're going to name more names. I do see Kevin McCarthy here. What's going on with that? Is Kevin McCarthy going to be called in? Yes. I kind of forgot what's happening with Mark Meadows. It's unbelievable. Is Mark Meadows going to be called in? Yes. Well, he's been cited for contempt. Why do I want to look at DeSantis? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I know why. Because of COVID. This is going to be the thing that sinks Florida. Oh my gosh. Don't go to Florida. If you guys are from Florida, be really careful. I dropped a card. Hang on. the fool. Yeah, the guides want me to talk about Ron DeSatan. Gosh, I just really feel like Florida's gonna be hammered with COVID. It's a while back that I was really freaking out about the children in Florida. Texas, too. In the schools and not wearing masks and getting COVID. And now they found out that the vaccination for the young kids, I read somewhere that it wasn't as effective as they thought it would be, so I'll have to find out more about that. Florida. I'm seeing a female who's a scientist, a doctor of some sort, kind of coming in. Could be like the Surgeon General or something, but I think that's a male. Coming in and taking charge of the COVID situation. It's bad. I really feel like it's bad. And Ron DeSantis, this is a Knight of Swords. He's looking like a real rookie here. He's a sociopath. Okay, so there's that. I'm really concerned. Pray for Florida. I feel like they're going to get hit really bad with COVID. Now, of course, the news first thing this morning was about the traitor Joe Manchin. Joe Biden took that personally. Manchin, so he was going to go along with the Build Back Better bill. He was like, I can't even think about it too much because I just get in a rage about it. I'm okay, but it makes me very angry. So Joe Manchin, let's just be straight. Joe Manchin is funded by big oil and big coal and big pharma. And the Build Back Better bill, BBBB, the Build Back Better bill helps prescription drug prices to come down, which they have to. He drives me bananas. So Denise, the psychic, I'm not remembering the name of her, what she calls her channel. But anyway, I read a little post that she wrote. And she said Joe Manchin is a sociopath, which I 100% agree with. And I mean, people's teeth are falling out in West Virginia, and he doesn't care. And he's got these pearly whites. This has a shelf life, believe me. People will have had quite enough. And I'm seeing it coming. Anyway. But Denise, I wish I could remember the name of her channel. She said that he's a fox and he looks like a fox. And I was like, he does look like a fox. Joe Manchin looks like a fox. So shout out to her. I'll put in the description the name of her channel. Also, Joe Manchin, gosh, you can just see it. It doesn't take a psychic when he backtracks like that. And he's doing it for attention because he's an attention hoarder, and he's just a bad person. And I don't really get caught up in this like, you can't wish bad things on anybody. You can't wish bad things on anybody. I just want to see him stop it. I just want to see him stop it. I want to see him stopping this behavior and having a heart. I said not too long ago that I actually felt like Joe Manchin is a Republican. I mean, we'd be better off with a Republican that has a heart. I know that seems unusual nowadays, but you know, every once in a while I think about Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney got mass health going. That was long before Obamacare. You know. And like what he's back in the shadows. Just switching topics to Mitt Romney, because Mitt Romney voted to impeach Trump the first time around, and then he just kind of took a back seat. And I don't know. I remember seeing him after the January 6th thing happened, and he was sitting behind Josh Hawley, who was spewing just total garbage lies. And Mitt Romney was really upset, but it just seems like Mitt Romney has gotten afraid to say anything. So anyway, my point is, if if we didn't have Joe Manchin and we had a Republican that was more like an Adam Kinzinger Republican type, or even Liz Cheney, we'd probably actually be in a better position than we are with Manchin in that position. But Joe Biden, honestly, he took it personally. It was a terrible thing, and I have a thing about people keeping their word. I mean, your word is, maybe it's not this way anymore. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. But when you give somebody your word, that's a treaty. That's like a vow. That's like, it matters. And I hope that never goes away. But apparently it is. Apparently that's not a thing for Joe Manchin. So nobody can trust him. But a lot of people saw this coming. And speaking of this sort of thing, where people aren't caring about the people. I mean, people in leadership positions aren't caring about the people, and corporations don't care about people. Check out Bernie Sanders in Michigan over the weekend, rallying for the people who work in the cereal factories. I guess it's Battle Creek. I think that's the cereal place. And I mean, these people, generations of families have worked for these cereal companies. Like, I think it was Kellogg's. Anyway, it was great to see Bernie Sanders out there in solidarity with the workers, because that company is wanting to lay people off and hire workers from Mexico for like $1 an hour. I don't know the whole story, so don't quote me. But I mean, Bernie Sanders, at least, the people that are out there fighting for the people, that's what they were elected to do. Hello, reality check. Did I miss something where that is not the job description anymore? Because, I mean, when I think about the tornadoes in Kentucky and I think about how Mitch McConnell's done nothing, I mean, it just makes me crazy. That's why I'm here, because I got to talk about it. Anyway, Joe Manchin. This cut deeply. It's like I said, this is a moon card. This is really, however, just coming off this full moon, I'm thinking, gosh, I better check with an astrologer. Joe Manchin this was a bad move for him. In fact, it exposed him. And you know, that big pharma corruption was all part of what, you know, it was a family affair. With the EpiPens and price gouging. Schools. His wife, Joe Manchin's wife, and daughter were just scamming people. We need to get back to when people in leadership positions care about people. And that's what we have to fight for. So the Build Back Better bill is not going to pass by the end of the year. It will pass eventually. The guides just said scaled down. And that's going to be a bummer. But the voting rights bill, you know what, I'll take a look at what's going on with the voting rights bill, because that's kind of been pushed to the forefront, which I think it's a good idea. We need to keep our voting rights, obviously, and nothing like stating the obvious in it. We need to keep our voting rights, and we need to fight hard for that. And Beto O'Rourke and Stacey Abrams and those types are really pounding the pavement and making that happen. So if you can help in any way, help the people that are helping people, particularly the people in positions of leadership, which Beto is really not in a position right now. I dropped a card again. Oh, hang on. So what's going to happen with the voting rights bill? Okay. Celebration. This is celebration. Now, let's not rest on our laurels and say, just because I said it, I don't have that much credibility with you, do I? Well, Annette said it was going to pass, so I guess I can just relax. No, it's not like that. This is like celebration, but it's hard-earned. Voting rights. King of Pentacles. I actually feel like this is John Lewis's spirit. And the Queen of Wands. Somebody's going to spearhead this. This is Stacey Abrams. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some really good information that comes out about how to save voting rights. There's more information coming to the people about how we're going to do that. I'm going to pull 3 more cards about that. These cards are different. I haven't used them in a while, and I have no idea what they are because I can't find the box. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is, the Star card is the card for America. The Hermit card, leaving the Republicans out in the cold, like, because they've been outed. This is about voting rights. The Republicans are going to feel like, we don't know, we don't know. People have the power. I say it all the time. The King of Swords. Joe Biden's going to see to it that the voting rights bill gets passed. One last pendulum check. Is that the case? Yes. People, we got to stay on it. Remember, you can join Adam Kinzinger's Country First organization. You can join Act Blue. You can join MoveOn.org. You can look at what Bernie Sanders is up to. Support something. And we're going to start the psychics on YouTube, the ones that I get in touch with. And I know Linda G is on board with this. We're going to start pointing everyone into a direction to make sure that we're all supporting our voting rights. So look for that in the next few days. I will get something up there. I mean, just in terms of information for how you can get involved. But for right now, I just want to say Country First with Adam Kinzinger. You can go to countryfirst.org, I guess it would be, and see what they're up to. Check out Stacey Abrams, see what she's up to. Check out what Beto O'Rourke is doing. Check out what Bernie Sanders is doing. Jump on board, get involved. If it's way more fun when you get involved. Truly. Even if you don't see yourself winning right away, you know, it's just better to be on board and get involved. That's what I have for you today. I'm going to be back in a couple of days unless there's something, you know, like really breaking news. Not just breaking news. It's not really breaking news. And I'll see you then. And happy winter solstice. Do something festive. Generations and generations of people celebrated the winter solstice. It's in our DNA. Get out there and celebrate. Go sing some Christmas carols outside in the dark in the park or something. I don't know, looking at the moon with your friends. Have some cheer. All right. See you later. Bye. Thank you. Namaste. If you want a reading, it's AnnetteDionPsychic@gmail.com. Bye.